Tiara's breath. You haven't promised too much, Tahar. This place is incredible.
Just wait until you see it in action.
Just don't forget, we're here for a purpose.
I won't. I'll go talk to Flynn now. We need to find a good place to set up camp. And, if you want to talk, you know, about the past, then feel free to come by.
Unbelievable. All this.
Must be quite a change of scenery.
Yes, you could say that. All my life I dreamed of stepping through the portal, and now I did. And it's beautiful. Everything is so vast. Oh well. It will take some getting used to, that's for certain. There's something else I wanted to discuss with you. I brought some things from the island that could come in handy on your travels. Weapons, trinkets, all sorts of things I found in the Hibernian ruins over the years. Most of them haven't been used for millennia, but for a little gold I could get them back into shape. Just let me know if you want to take a look.
I will. Thank you.
Tandai Tahar. Come to trade?
Copper daggers to moon silver swords. Come again. May Tiara bless your path. I must say, I am impressed.
With Mullendeer? Yes. It's quite a sight. I still can't believe we're the first ones who found this place.
It seems unlikely, yes, but yet it happened. Isgrim, the dwarf, told me about it. He said that the rock illusion shielding the entrance vanished as soon as you spoke the words, and that it did not react to Isgrim himself.
Tell me, Tahar, what do you make of that?
I don't know. It might have been coincidence.
That is true.
I believe we stand on the verge of a change. Things have happened, Tahar. Things, the extent of which we have not even come close to comprehending. And they have set something in motion.
How do you know this? Are you some kind of medium?
A medium? No, quite the opposite. I am an observer. As you have undoubtedly noticed, I lack the, let us call it, emotional intensity most people display in their daily lives. That can be a challenge, but it also allows me a unique perspective on the world.
And to me, it is evident that the war your father started has done more than simply given birth to the purity of light. It was the first pebble in what will soon become an avalanche.
You're talking about the Bloodburn?
Among other things, yes. But as I said, there is more to it. All this, your journey, Your role in what Rondarom Lecainom believes to be a vision sent by Aenir. It is only the beginning. But let us continue this discussion when I can give you more than vague, semi-prophetic statements.
All right. We'll talk later.
Why? When?
When something comes up. I'll go prepare for our next mission now.
Understood. Yes? What is it?
Where did you grow up? You don't look Nortandian.
I do not. That is correct. I grew up in Imperia.
Imperia? That's a long way from here.
I know, but I hardly have any memories. My parents fled from the Civil War and set over to Northander when I was only 4 years old.
So you were refugees?
Yes, much like many Nortandians are now. We lived in the Utran lands, and my parents are still there.
What's it like to live in Northander as an Empyrean?
Well, it was my impression that Utran people are by nature a lot more skeptical towards outsiders than, for example, the citizens of Everlight. All in all, however, I cannot complain. Both my father and my mother found work quite quickly, and thanks to my occupation as first scholar of the Creators Guild, they now live a quite comfortable life.
And when did you discover your magic?
At a very early age. I believe I was 7 at that time. I must have had an outbreak, but I can hardly remember any of it. All I know is that my mother's employer, who was a mage himself, immediately took me in. I went to Everlight when I was 10, and did not leave there ever since. Until now.
Interesting. You're the first Empyrean I've met.
I am not surprised.
I've noticed that you use both white and black magic in combat. I've never seen anyone do that before. Don't the two schools exclude each other?
Normally, yes. The essence of white and of black magic deeply oppose each other. Trying to combine both of them usually has a similar effect on a mage's mind as adding water onto a patch of burning oil. I, however, never had that problem. The first time I found out was at the Arcane University in Greyfell, where I studied. The white magic spell I had cast on a rabbit to heal his wounded paw accidentally killed it. I was very young at that time, and I knew my professor would be upset if he found out, so I channeled my energy on undoing what I had done. As a result, I created an undead rabbit. It immediately went feral, and I put it back to sleep. But rather than feeling the terrible headache that had been described to us as an effect of combining these two schools, I felt a slight sense of, well, exhilaration. I secretly continued these experiments during my studies, and found out that whatever it is that causes this mental discord among normal mages did not affect me.
Do you have an explanation for this?
No, I do not. Maybe it has to do with the way my mind is structured, or maybe it is a simple coincidence.
Huh. Well, that's odd. Goodbye. Understood.
Ah, Tahar.
Seems your men have made themselves comfortable.
Yeah, they have. There was a small disagreement between Flynn and the orcs, but we settled that, so it's all good now. But I'm guessing that's not what you came here for. You want to talk, right? About what I did 8 years ago?
Why did you do it? Why did you tell my father about my plan?
Well, what do you want me to say? I did it because back then I still believed in your father's vision. What you, Zane, and Helena were going to do, it just seemed, I don't know, wrong. But that doesn't mean it was an easy decision. Also, I didn't think he'd execute you. Probably naive, I know, but it's the truth. You see, I joined Asamo because there was truth in his words. The masks, the pikes, all that hatred against us defilers that the purity of light is spreading now. It was all already there. The people always feared us, simply because we were different. Because we are better than they. Your father, he knew something like that would happen eventually. So he stood up and tried to stop it before it was too late. At least that's what he said. And to be honest, I still don't know if he only lost that vision, or had never had it to begin with.
I can't believe you're saying this. The reason the people hate us mages now is because of what my father did. He confirmed their fears for them by starting this goddamn war.
Oh, really? And what about all that shit that happened beforehand? The witch burnings, mages driven out of the cities, gifted children abandoned by their mothers.
Did you just say because we were better?
Yes, better. How else should I say it? We cast fire from our hands, heal wounds with a mere thought, so how would you call it? I call it superior. And the ungifted know it as well as we do. But does that mean that we want to kill them? No. We're not animals, we're people, just like they are. Only that we are the lions and they are the cats. We didn't choose to be that way, but it's what nature chose for us.
I don't know. But to me, it sounds like you're still trying to justify what you did in that war.
That's where you're wrong. It's not all black and white, Tahar. And you of all people should know that. I know I made mistakes. And I've spent the past 7 years making amends. What else do you think the Wayfarers are for? Why else would I have left? And look, I do not expect you to forgive me. I don't even know if I could do it if I were in your position.
I remember that back in the rebellion, ancient relics such as the Godstones were your speciality. Is there anything interesting you could tell me about them?
Interesting? That depends on what you mean by that. I mean, it goes without saying that what this rune allows us to do is beyond fascinating. Apart from that, I could only tell you the things you already know. How both the Hibernians and Shapers worshipped them and harnessed their magic. But that's about it.
So, regarding the Wayfarers, you said that you founded them to make amends. Is that true? And if yes, how did you found them?
Yes, otherwise I wouldn't have said it. As to how I formed them, it's a long story. And maybe one we should save for later.
I want to talk about my father.
I figured you'd want to eventually. What is it you want to know?
Do you think it's true? But he was simply crazy.
Towards the end, yes. He had certainly lost his sanity. But before that, I still don't know. I've said it before, but there's one part of me that likes to think he was a madman to begin with. And then there's the other voice that tells me that he was merely a visionary who had lost his way. But if there's one thing I know, it's that he was a leader. Whenever he spoke to us, it was electric. To this day, I've never seen someone with his charisma.
You sound almost nostalgic.
Nostalgic? No. It's just... I've never met someone with that energy. You have some of it, Tahar. I only started to realize that here. But most of it is still asleep.
This might sound strange, but... do you see any resemblance between him and me?
Interesting that you ask. Yes, there were moments where I could not help but notice that certain... something that strongly reminds me of your father.
Could you be a bit more specific?
Well, I think that the best way to describe it is a sort of look in your eyes. It's somehow distant, but at the same time driven and intense. And it can be both intimidating and charismatic. I believe that it's this energy that helped your father rally the noble houses and all these mages behind him. And ironic as it may be, it might help you with our cause too.
My father never told me how he grew up. Do you know anything about that?
About his childhood? I'm afraid not. He shared some fragments of his past with me, but probably no more than he shared with you.
Let's discuss something else. I'll be off.
Now look at that. The fabled corporal. Good to finally meet you in person. I'm Flynn, second in command of the Wayfarers. I have to say, for someone who only led a puny Northander division once, you're doing quite a good job leading an army so far. Not of them saying I couldn't do better, but still. Anyway, have you come to arm our men? I strongly suggest you do so.
But you're armed already, aren't you?
Well, yes, with rusty swords and dented armors. I mean with proper equipment. If you give me the coin, I'll send out orders to my contacts in Everlight. It'll improve our strike force significantly.
Can you tell me more about you? Rowan seems to think highly of you.
As he should. What do you want to know?
So, what's your job in the Wayfarers?
Well, let's just say that I know a great deal of people. And I can also handle myself in a fight.
What did you do before the Wayfarers were formed?
Depends on how far before we're talking. I did some jobs here and there and then joined the military.
Some jobs? So you were a baker? A bard?
Very funny. I was a mercenary.
And then you joined the Royal Army?
Yes. I was even part of the Wolf Guard for a year or so.
Really? How come we never met?
Because that was way before your time. I know I don't look it, but I'm quite some years ahead of you, Tahar. I served under General Noria, under Sentenza, before that disaster at the Iskander Fortress.
How come you left?
Well, there were a couple of reasons. In a nutshell, I didn't agree with some of the things Sentenza made us do. So I deserted, just like you. Anyway, after I left, I went back into the mercenary business for a while. Then the Mage War broke out, things went to shit, and I went into hiding. Finally, a year ago, I met Rowan, and he told me about his idea. I immediately agreed. Doing good while not being bound to uniforms, orders, and morning drills was something I'd always wanted to do. I simply didn't expect anyone else to share that vision.
I want to buy some better equipment for the Wayfarers.
Music to my ears. What did you have in mind?
Will do.
So, this is your place. Huh. Interesting. I like the architecture. It has grace.
You like it?
Yes, imagine an orc who isn't all about pikes and spikes. Either way, let me know if you need my knowledge.
Will do. Thanks, Kier.
Yes, yes.
From Zoo to the Ashlands.
do we need? Got it.
To this day, the Shaper's magical and technological prowess remains unrivaled. One thing is clear: none of their marvels would have been possible without an incredible amount of magical energy. According to Iskrim, this is it. The heart of the Nexus. The source of the Shaper's power.
Understood. Mm-hmm.
Tahar, finally! Do you have the stone?
I do. What now? How do we connect it to the Nexus?
Well, I've done a little research on that. It should be pretty straightforward. Give me the stone for a second, please.
Sure.
Thanks. Now, let's see. Whoa!
This is amazing.
What the heck just happened? Was that the stone?
Yeah. It seems like our plan worked. The stones are the power sources of the Nexus.
Not sources, Tahar. They're simply the catalysts. As I said, the energy, all this magic, it comes from someplace else.
Well, I definitely know why the Shapers were so powerful now. If they were able to harness that, I wouldn't want to be their enemy.
Pain.
Pardon?
Rekindling this place. I can feel their thoughts now. At least, some of them.
You mean the Shaper's thoughts?
Those who connected themselves to this place. The ones who had the power of telepathy. They left an echo, and whatever wiped out the Shapers, it caused pain. Horrible pain.
I see.
Well, fascinating or not, we need to connect our minds to the Nexus to find the source of the bloodburn, right? Can we do that now?
No. It's not strong enough yet.
Well, we knew that already. We need to find the second stone first. Let's head to Aernir's Blade. It's a long journey, but we don't have a choice. Mm-hmm. Will do.
As you require.
I'll keep you shielded.
Everything has an end.
We'll make short work of them.
Savage wildlife, steep hills, stormy shores. The Utran coast, also known as the Green Coast, is not known for its hospitality. Many ships have run aground in the northern storms, a phenomenon which regularly attracts wanderers who scavenge the coastline for loot.
Do you feel the wind? We're getting close to the coast. If Sergeant Copper is right, and the ship really did sink, some of the cargo might have washed up on the shore.
We should definitely watch out for looters. The elves told me there's quite a lot in these parts lately.
True. Let's also keep an eye out for that scout Copper mentioned.
What is it?
These were sailors. And they were slaughtered.
Not by humans, though. Look at these wounds. Claws did this. Or teeth.
Strange.
Fine.
Shh, up ahead. Get ready.
Bandits up ahead. Wrong. What? That's all? I'm only getting started.
Looters, as expected.
Blasted war. You can't go anywhere without an axe anymore, can you?
As you want. A fine plan. Let us make this quick.
Highwaymen. We're in for some fun. More fighting. Does this never end? Fine.
Interesting. Let's see.
Yes, of course.
All right, why not?
More lost.
You read
More
my mind.
cutthroats. Take him down. Pleasant surprise. They will fall.
That's the way?
The light attracts the monsters. Now that's odd.
But it explains why the ship sunk. They put out the beacon to protect themselves.
Well, seems that it didn't help them. It doesn't really help us with our search for the medicine, though. Let's take a look at the beach. Well, damn it. Seems that the warden ran out of oil.
What about the camp to the south? It looks like an outpost. They might have some.
Sure.
Understood.
Got it.
Interesting. Barricade. Someone or something tore it down.
Maybe the looters.
Possible.
Fine.
Got it.
As you want.
I understand.
Crazy! Put that damn torch out. What? Why? You know what the note said.
Come on! Don't be such a sis!
Shut your mouths already, will you? Let's search this place and get out of here. Sorry, friends, but this spot is taken.
Huh?
I said find your own spoils. We were here before you.
We're not looters.
Oh, you aren't? Then what do you want?
Don't you feel bad about this? Stealing from the dead.
Why? It's not as if these pals still need it, do they?
It's disrespectful.
Oh, is it? I didn't know corpses were so sensitive.
The other looters attacked on sight. You seem a bit more reasonable. Are they your men?
Who do you think we are? Plunderers United? No, we're all here on our own.
So, you fight each other?
Not as long as we respect each other's territory. First come, first serve.
Did you kill these soldiers?
You think we could do that? I'm flattered. No, we didn't. These sods were dead when we came here.
Huh. Then what happened?
Well, depends on who you ask. My pal Reinhardt thinks it was them more-here bastards from the jungle, whereas Henry thinks it's some strange, unspeakable evil that haunts these lands.
You make it sound like I'm an idiot. The warden's note was very clear.
Aye, because sitting in a bloody lighthouse all day and night with booze as company likely turns you into a person of reason.
Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Dead is dead.
Strange, unspeakable evil?
Yeah. The lighthouse warden left a note before he killed himself. Apparently there's some horrible ghost haunting these lands, and it searches for the light.
Huh. So neither the sailors nor the looters have the medicine. That's bad.
What about the creatures? The monsters?
You mean?
I know it's a bit of a stretch, but we don't know they are. Isn't it possible that they took parts of the cargo after they killed the sailors?
Well, I guess it's worth a try. Didn't that looter from the camp say something about them being drawn to the light? We should check out the lighthouse. Why would the Moor here attack a Northander camp? That doesn't make sense.
Then they take on the Northander army in that village, too? What was his name, Leonon? It's obvious they didn't give a fuck about the White Mist Treaty anymore.
Huh, I see. Am I right to assume that the wreckage on the coast belongs to a trade ship?
Well, judging by what little is left of the cargo, yeah. Guess they ran into that storm last week, poor sods. Even the weather's gone mad.
We need to search the camp.
You deaf? I said this is our spot.
How about this? That's more than whatever you can find here will bring you on a market.
Let me see. Fine. Boys, we're leaving.
What? But...
I said, we're leaving. Good luck, friend. Whatever it is you're hoping to find here.
Whatever killed them, it didn't show any mercy. Yes, that should do the job. Now back to the lighthouse.
Blasted armor.
Now would you look at that? Will do.
A fine plan.
That way. All right.
Interesting.
Sure.
Debris. Damn it.
And a lot of it. So, the sergeant's theory was right.
Yeah, but let's look around. As I said, if we're lucky, some of the cargo might have washed up too. Understood. Let's see.
Bloody creepy this is.
Highwaymen.
Place, wrong time.
Whatever.
Oi! Soldiers!
Wait, we...
Get them!
Now would you look at that? Interesting. Now would you look at that? Huh. Seems that some of the sailors managed to save themselves. And they took some of the cargo with them.
But no sign of the medicine.
Tiara's breath. What? What are those things?
Our monsters.
Well, let's hope they aren't as strong as they are ugly.
Danger up ahead!
You'll regret this.
Is this really necessary? You picked the wrong enemies.
As you want.
This way, right?
They will burn.
More fighting. Does this never end?
I knew it. This looks like the medicine, doesn't it?
Sure.
Fine.
That's the way.